T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
Hey everyone, good morning, happy Friday. So this is my first actual scheduled live for Friday morning. So welcome everyone. I hope everyone is having an awesome day. I hope you have some really great plans for the weekend. So the audio might be really good, but everything in my studio is pretty dim. All the lights are off except for an open window that I have right over in this location that's bringing in a little daylight to light me and my office studio. So typically, we'll do a little experiment here on bringing on some of these lights one by one. Some of them, not all of them, I do have on voice control with, I've got some Amazon devices as well. And yeah, so some of them are voice controlled, others are not. I got to do manual or use an app to be able to do it. But Echo, turn on the hair light. So there we go. You'll notice that right here, and this isn't positioned really well. This hair light that is set up is typically meant if I'm going to be in a position like this. However, I've got some adjustments going on, but the light right over there, and I could create another one as well. I'm going to throw another kind of like a temporary hair light over there, and that's going to come from this direction from an LED, and I've got it on like a warm light. So this way it'll kind of light me a little bit, match up with some of the accent lighting that I'm going to do in the back, but it gives that glow or that perception that I've got a light source coming from this area. That, more importantly, it lights the back of me, outlines my shoulders, provides some hair for the top, or light for the top of my hair, and just help me kind of stand out from the scene just a little bit. Now the next one I'm going to turn on, Echo, turn on the key light. Now I have a key light positioned about 45 degrees on my right and it's positioned up higher, pointing down towards me. It gives me a little bit more of a Rembrandt look, where my nose is giving that little bit of a triangle on the other side, which, you know, looks a bit cinematic. I could go ahead and add like another filler light. Well, actually, I've got a door open, so I do have a little bit of ambient light coming in from the other room. But now, one other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to light up this table a little bit. Hold on just a moment. This is one of the manual ones that I have to do. I'm going to get in front of the camera here. Oh my gosh, where is that light switch? There we go. All right. That one illuminates the overhead. Now, I have another one. Basically, it's a light that's going to shine up on the ceiling and give a little bit more accent light, or just provide a little bit more light to illuminate that area right over there. So just the addition of that helps things stand out a bit, okay? And now, one of the things I'm going to talk about is accent lighting. Accent lighting that I will normally use. And one of the lights, it just kind of lights up this overhead area a bit, okay? So typically, what I've done in the past, I'll bring in an accent light similar to this. The light bulb that I put in here, I'd had for years. I got them from IKEA, and they're RGB lights. They're not super bright. Echo, turn on the office lights. Now, it's hard to see in the daylight, but this one lit up just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take off the lamp. This is an orange color. It's hard to see on camera. That's why a lot of times like this, it just wasn't super effective for me. And I needed something a little different. There are other light bulbs as well. Hold on. So in the market, like when I went to Creator Camp a couple weeks ago, one of the prizes going into that on the welcome package was a little RGB light. And this one plugs into a USB port. You can change the color, you can change the intensity. It can be white, it could be a warm color, it could be any color you want. And typically, once you program these and you can control them on an app, and this one is used by magnets. So if I were to put it right behind my guitar back there, you'll notice that it provides a little bit more of an accent light to my slat wall. It'll light it up just a tad, right? The problem with that one is I have to have it plugged into a USB. And it doesn't, I mean, it provides a pretty good light. And when I pick the color's fairly accurate. Hey, it's Friday, I'm taking a coffee break. But one of the things I discovered, one of the lights, my favorite light to use for accents, number one, fairly easy to control. But it will operate in a light socket. And that's how it charges up. It'll have a battery, but you could have it sitting in a light socket. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these on. So how I operate this is I'll use a program called Sidus Link. And that works with a lot of my aperture lights. Now, this right here, you'll notice that I've got a bunch of different accent lights set up and they're labeled. It shows that they're all on AC power. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn them on just to show you a difference of what it looks without, with the lights. Boom. So that lights up the scene pretty well, and it gives me more of a look. So I've got a specific color right here for the orange color. It's the code 35, and it matches up properly with the other Apurture B7C that I'm going to unbox here. And that same color also corresponds and does match with that newer RGB light that I had just shown you. However, it's not always practical to clip this on. Every now and then I either have to have a USB cable plugged into it or pull it off every now and then when I'm done with the shot. So what I like is that I can get different sockets and stuff and then just screw these things in. It'll charge. I can put it behind the subject to light it up a little bit. Now, the alternative, as I realized as I started working with these, I do have some old lights that were just never practical in my scene, but something like a lightsaber. Or if I brought, and that'll always bring the dogs in, and if I brought something like this, if I were to put something like that, if I were to put lightsabers on the back of my wall, you'd notice it a bit. It doesn't really light. You will see the light from that, but you notice that it doesn't really project a whole lot of light behind it. I don't know what the sound, that's always getting the dogs word like, what's going on? We have something Star Wars related. I'm going to turn these off. All right. And then let's go ahead and open this up. And I'm going to try and set this up on the Sidus Link. And I'm going to put that behind the guitar. So I'm going to go to the overhead camera. And again, this is the Aperture B7C. It's a battery-powered RGB WWLED. So not only does it do the spectrum of your red, greens, and blues, but it will also do it's a bi-color light as well. So very helpful. All right, let's see. Bump, bump, bump. Now, typically, these things resell for about 80 bucks. But I always watch for them to go on sale on Amazon. This one was about $50, and when they get to that price and I need to replace them, I definitely do. But it comes with a product manual to explain everything. There's a power, I need to get used to this, but you got a power button, a brightness button, and there's a diffusion cover. Because most LEDs, like, use this Neewer one as an example. So if you take off the diffusion cube of this, then you're left with, I mean, this is diffused enough too, but if I were to turn this on, and you'll see it's super, 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 super bright. If I didn't have this cover here, it would be exposed to the LEDs. And then if I put this cover on, you'll now notice that this light is a lot softer to provide a little bit more of a more pleasing and less harsh light. Well, that is what the bulb piece does. You've got the LED thing right in the base of the unit, but this cover right here diffuses the light. Now, one of the things what I really love about this light is that the color is pretty accurate. And if I pick a certain color for a certain area of the wall, and if I want to match it up with other lights, it will do that, and it'll be very accurate. So let's see. I'm going to try powering it on, see if the battery works. Haha. There we go. All right, that's pretty bright. And that's in its default setting. That is like, I'm assuming it's probably going to be a 5600 watt bulb. So I'm going to drop the intensity a bit. Boop, 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 boop. So number one, what I'm going to do is we're going to go to, not that one, we're going to go to Sidus Link. And we are going to attempt to connect this. If not, I might have to reset the Bluetooth, but we're going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and connect to sync. I'm going to add a new fixture. Oh my gosh, let's see. That is not what I want. All right, let me go ahead and I'm going to reset this for Bluetooth. It should give me, actually, let me look. It's been a while since I did that. Bluetooth reset. Oh yeah, it's plus, it's the power and minus. You know what? It's a live show. Of course, this isn't going to work. Okay, press on and off, and then fixture will enter in boop, boop, boop for 5 seconds. Okay, I'm going to hold the power button for 5 seconds. And that should get it into pairing mode. Of course, it's not going to pair today, right? Is press and hold the off-on button for 5 seconds. Okay, that turned it off. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm going to do? It's live. Let's see if we can go ahead and recover on this live. Number one, I'm going to go ahead and plug it directly to AC power. I want to turn this intensity down. Hold the button for 5 seconds, which turns it on. There we go. All right, that was Bluetooth reset. There we go. Now it detected it. This is what happens when you do a live show. So this is what I'm going to set up. I'm going to select this. Now it's going to configure, and it's going to start the configuration. It's going to start the setup. Hopefully see if there's any firmware that I need to update. So if I scroll down, now I'll see, here's the new light. I'm going to put that behind my red guitar. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this. Oh, time to bring the keyboard. So I'm going to name this for my scene. Red guitar. So that way, at least I can identify it with the list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the red guitar, and I want to match this with that color. The color for that one is 35. So I'm going to go to the hue, and I'm going to set the hue for 30. Like if I set it for 245, and then turn this on. Boop. Okay, now I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to change this to 245. The saturation I'm going to make 100%. Click OK. There we go. Now we've got blue. And if I want, and I could change this intensity. I could make it a little dimmer. I could make it a little brighter. But for this, I'm going to make this 35. Oops. I thought I was anyways. 360, that would have made it red. 35, there we go, now orange. And it matches that proper color. So for the, and I could, it depends on the light, but you could go through and, you know, add this in as like a fixture, right? So you could put this behind a lamp and put it in an area just like that one is. The lamp shade will diffuse it just a little bit, but just be aware of it. But you can do it. So now I'm going to unscrew this bulb. Right now it's operating on battery power. Like, wait, hold on a second. Like, wait a second. I have an idea. All right, so I'm gonna take it into this socket outlet, which honestly, it has an adapter that I could put it on a light stand, but I'm just gonna go ahead and screw this in. And you can also buy fake sockets that attach to other stands. So you could do it that way, but this way at least it is powered. It has electrical. I have a mount. I have a lot of mounting options where I can mount this light. But just for this purpose, I'm going to put it right behind here. Let's hope it stays. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, so that now lights it up a bit more. And if I go back into Sidus Link, so let's see, we're going to go back to all of my fixtures. So now they should all work out. So if I turn them all off, now they're off. Turn them all back on. Now if I want to go to the red guitar, and if I want to change this from orange and match up like the lights over there, then I would just simply go 2, 4, 5. And I've got a saturation of intensity that just makes it super freaking blue. And then there we go. So this gives me the control, the ability that I could change these lights. You know, like if I have different shows and if I wanted to just make adjustments, if I had different themes, I could do that. I can add pink, I can add orange, I can add different colors. It just, you know, whatever works out. Let's see, let's try green. How does that look? Oh, very noticeable. But you'll realize that there are certain ones that are just brighter than others. And if it does get a little like too intense, let's go ahead and put this back to 35. 360, you just have to pay attention when you're clicking on this. I have to pay attention when I'm clicking on this. So 35, click OK, and then there we go. So if it's too much, like let's say for whatever reason it was just too intense, and I could go through and I could easily control what the intensity is of it. So bonus. So that's it. That's it. I really do. When I was turned on to these B7C lights, I'm telling you, it really changed up the look in my lighting area. There's more to come with it, but I did, and on all, I've had these lights for quite a while, and I've had a couple of them die on me. They're really, really, really good lights, but the ones that had died on me, Aperture was able to replace. But when you're working with some of these lower cost RGB bulbs and you have them around there, number one, the color accuracy isn't always that great. The intensity isn't there either. And that's why when you get to the point, you can step up from there to go to something like this. This newer RGB light, which works really great and works with an app. It has a newer app that you can use. This is about $22. The Aperture 57C, when you get them on sale, is about 50 bucks. But these work great as well. The color accuracy is good, but it's, you know, you just have to kind of step up. And there is a step up from there. You could get like actual RGB tubes, really big RGB lights, just like my key light that's providing me. So the biggest takeaway from this, everybody, y'all, is that accent lighting really can improve your studio setup. You know, whether you're just using the lights that you have around you, let's say all you have is a lightsaber. You know, that at least makes it pop a little bit. But as you're building out your studio, or if you're just trying to improve your lighting, just to make it a bit more professional, try and separate yourself from the background with like a hair light for your shoulders. And then provide a key light for you. If you wear glasses, put your key light, your main lighting source, in a 45-degree angle. That way you're not getting a bunch of glare from that. I use readers when I'm doing live. It makes it so much easier than wearing my progressive lenses. And then typically if you're gonna do any other thing, like a top-down shot, you'll want to make sure that that's evenly lighted as well. But even if you light yourself and you light this item and everything else, if you don't take care of your accent lighting, see, that just steps up the game, right? So, all right, everybody have an awesome Friday. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I appreciate you being here on this live. Everybody have an awesome day. See ya.